silly. It's okay to be a child. It's okay to be goofy. It's okay to be stupid. I think that we need more people who are willing to act a fool. Obviously in an appropriate time, in an appropriate manner. But we need more people who are willing to show more of their inner child and just be stupid, be goofy. One thing I do love about the songs that I played on today is that there's a message in each song to get, and if you take time to listen, you could gain something new. You can learn something new. So I'm gonna actually try to see if I can post this on YouTube. I know that there's copyrighted material in this, so I don't expect to be able to monetize, but not that I make any money anyways if I were to monetize. So much love to everyone who tunes in, and thank you, Sierra, for all the love. I appreciate it. Happy to make a fool of myself if it makes someone else smile. And that's all that matters. You never know what you can do for another person. And I am trying to live more of my truth. And at my core, I am a child at heart, like all of us are. And I have this really childlike self to me. And I don't think I really displayed it much as a child. So as I'm going through my spiritual journey, I'm trying to take myself more to my comfort zone. Malachi, and it's so crazy too, because Malachi back then would have never gotten on here and did some of these things that he's doing, but Malachi's at a point where he doesn't care. It doesn't matter the numbers of views that I get. It doesn't matter how many people tune in. All that matters is that if someone watches it, I just hope that they're able to, I want to make people happy, genuinely happy. And even if it's just for a moment, because this world is stressful, this world is crazy, and there's a lot going on, especially during this time where we're in, where we have the whole, coronavirus and stuff. It's a lot for some people, and it doesn't seem like it's going to get better. But that doesn't have to be the focus, because there's so much around you. And this is why I said about my last few videos that if you're not living in the moment, you're missing a lot. When you're present in the moment, you're able to receive so much information. So I'm just trying to be present in my moments. And in the moments I feel intense, in the moments I feel heavy, I practice these deep breathing exercises that really help me to release. And if you need to yell, if you need to scream, if you need to literally cry, give yourself that ugly cry. That ugly cry that we be doing sometimes. That cry be ugly. You ever looked in the mirror when you was crying and you're like, dude, this is what people see? I can't show this. Oh my, I can't even cry. I'm just joking. I'm literally just joking. But allow yourself to feel all of your emotions. Allow yourself to feel every feeling. Stop pushing it down. Stop denying that you feel some type of way. And you should always, always, always be able to speak your truth, live your truth. And don't let anybody, you have to be careful when you're allowing certain people to speak into your life, because not everybody has your best intentions. And even if they do have your best intentions, they could be misguided. All that matters ultimately is what you feel. Right? And if you take time to really spend that time with yourself and go deep, you can see, you'll get the information you need. You'll get the response that you need in that moment. And it may not come exactly when you want. You may have to meditate. You may have to take a lot of time with yourself in isolation. I've been by myself a lot, and there's times where I feel alone. Well, no, I am alone. There's times I feel lonely. And there's times where I feel like that though I have people around me, none of these people could really help me. I have to help myself. I have to give myself the encouragement. I have to give myself the love. I have to give myself the tools I need to make the changes that I need to make in my life in order to be a better person for the people around me. And more importantly, a better person for myself. Because when I'm a better person for myself, it leaves all the more room to be better for the people around me, be better to the people around me. So I practice not beating myself up in the moments I feel like I failed myself or I'm taking a setback, or in the moment of a setback. I try to love myself in those moments and tell myself that it's okay. I acknowledge that I'm only human, and it's not an excuse. We are human, and we're sinful creatures, and we're going to make a lot of mistakes along this way. But if we're constantly beating ourselves up and we're constantly being too harsh on ourselves, then that journey, that walk is going to be so much harder rather than saying, okay, you made a mistake. And you may make this mistake 2 more times. You may even make it 3 more times. But each time you make that mistake, you learn something new. You gather something else maybe that you was missing before. And then when you finally had enough, only you know when you've had enough. When you finally had enough, you'll really overcome that. And it won't be a thing anymore for you. It won't. It'll be a memory in the past. And you'll be like, wow, I had to go through that like 5 times, but look at me now. I would never do that to myself ever again. Well, yeah, because you done did it 5 times. You got the same reaction. You done got the same response. But look at you now. You done stepped over the hurdle, and that's all that matters, right? So, me, myself, I have to learn the hard way. It's not intentional. Like, we don't go into certain things. People who, and I'm just going to speak for myself, but if anybody can relate, then they can relate. So there's people in my life that would try to guide me, right? When it came to me making certain choices or certain decisions that I felt were appropriate at that best moment in my life. And when it came to me making decisions in certain moments in my life, there were people who tried to help guide me. And if I didn't feel as though it was right for me, I wasn't going to do it. Ultimately, I was going to do what I felt was best for me. And I trusted myself that the decision I made or I was going to make was going to be a decision that was going to hold me, a decision that brought me some type of satisfaction. And not satisfaction is not the word, but I was sure in myself is what I'm trying to say. And a lot of people I feel like who they get the name hard-headed. They're not hard-headed. These people are sure of themselves, and you're mindful, and you're not going to allow everyone to speak into your life. So I don't go into certain things thinking I'm gonna fail or think I'm gonna make a mistake, But if that is the outcome, then that's a lesson I need to learn. And if I have someone every step of the way trying to prevent me or stop me from doing certain things, whether or not they see it as a mistake or not, then I'm never going to grow. I'm never going to get that experience that I need, and I wouldn't be who I am today. So yeah, I have made many mistakes, and I'm sure I'm going to make many more mistakes. There's always room for correction. Doesn't matter how spiritual you are, doesn't matter how far along you are on your journey. There's always room for correction. There's always room for feedback, You take what you want, and then you apply it to your life. Then you make your final decision on the matter. But listen to yourself, love yourself, trust yourself, and the more you do that, the gentle you are with yourself, the easier it gets, and you don't have those thoughts of doubting yourself. And sometimes you doubt yourself more because you get so much information from your outer surroundings, from these different people you're letting speak into your life. So it makes your decision-making process so much worse. When really you should say, I'm tuning out all those voices around me. It doesn't matter what they think. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter how they're going to view me in this decision that I make or in this step of my life that I take. All that matters is what makes me feel good at the end of the day. What makes me feel like I'm doing what's right for my life, right? Like I said, we all have a belief system, and we should all respect each person's belief system, even if you don't agree with it. Just because it's not your belief system does not mean that you can't try to understand how a person had formed that system in the first place, It's all about love and compassion and, just being understanding. And it's not always that, it's a balance. So it's love, compassion, understanding, but it's also doing the work to get to where you need to be, and having people around you who can speak positive in your life and can give you the honest truth, even if it causes you to feel pain. Understanding that truth does not hurt, it only helps you, right? Truth is not meant to hurt you. It's the pain that you feel in the moment of receiving truth that causes you to feel those negative emotions. if you can understand that truth is only here to support you, to help you, to encourage you to continue to grow on your path, you can understand that ultimately it's your friend, it's your best friend. Truth should be your best friend. And if you're on the path of trying to find yourself and you're looking in the mirror and you're taking time to not point fingers at other people and you're taking accountability for your own actions and the role you play in every situation, then you're already on the right path. You're already on the path to success. You're already on the path to getting to where you need to be in your purpose, on your journey, on your walk. So I encourage every person that looks at this message, that has made it to the end, to look within and keep the focus on you. Because the more the focus is on you, the less time you have to judge other people, to be critical of them. And be present in moments. It's okay to be deep. It's okay to feel emotions, but don't hold on to these emotions and don't claim them as your own. Emotions come and go. You know, 1 minute we're happy, 1 minute we're sad, the next minute we're angry, the next minute they come and go, they don't last. So you shouldn't base anything on an emotion, right? Emotions can be good, but they can also be bad. So if you understand that, then you could be a lot more gentle and patient with yourself. And try not making decisions in the moment of you feeling angry or upset, because then you can be met with the feeling of regret or feeling like, you made the wrong decision. Instead, wait until you have calmed down, until you're able to rationalize and able to think clearly. It's also important not to give harsh reactions in certain moments. It's okay to walk away from people. It's okay to walk away from situations if you feel like it's getting to a point where it's going to get crazy. There was a moment like that yesterday where I felt like a situation was going to escalate before it happened. Like, I sometimes pre-plan how things are going to go, and I know that's not always good to do, but it was preparing me for the moment. That's what it was doing. So there was something that I wanted to address with a particular person, and knowing this person, how they react in certain situations, I imagined the scenario that it would turn into something greater. But I prepared myself in that same moment that if it got to a point where I felt like it was getting too much, I was literally going to get up and walk away. I also had made that decision in that moment that if the person wasn't understanding me in that moment, or if they were choosing to revert it back around and put it on me or make me feel some type of way, that was my closure I needed, and I could move forward and I can move on, from that, because not everybody needs to be in your life. Not everybody needs to be in your inner surroundings. You need to spend time alone. It is when you learn yourself the most. When people are constantly around you and people are speaking into your life, it's just too much you're getting from all around, and you won't be able to think clearly. You won't be able to feel, and you'll doubt yourself. When you get that gut instinct in certain things, it's there to help you. It's there to guide you. So trust yourself. And in the moment you make a mistake, even when you trust yourself, just know that it wasn't done purposely. You didn't intentionally set yourself up to fail or to have a setback. So there's no need to be hard on yourself. You did what you thought was right. And ultimately, that's all you can do for yourself, is do what you think is right. Whatever you feel appropriate for your life, that's all you can do. So, again, I hope that, everyone who watches this today has a very fantastic day. And I'm sending positive vibes and a lot of positive energy you guys' way. And if you're going through a hard time, find great support around you. Just be mindful of the support that you get. This person needs to be an honest person, a real person, a sincere person that genuinely wants to help. This person needs to be someone who can listen first, to understand, and then give you responses, then give you feedback. Because if this person is just listening to talk or listening to respond in a way where it's not going to help you or a situation, then you know that you don't need that person speaking in your life. But if the person is humble, and you see in the moment you're speaking to them that they're genuinely listening to you, and they're genuinely paying attention, and they genuinely care what you're going through or what your situation is, and they're asking questions, Don't get annoyed by the questions they ask. They're asking because they care. And they want to know all of the details before they speak on the matter. It's important to get all the details before we speak. Some people only want to know like 2 different things and they say, I heard all I need to hear, I'm done. I'm making my decision. This is what you should do. And it's like, no. There's a whole story, there's a whole picture, to be painted here. And you can't make a decision and you can't get feedback on 2 things. Because those 2 things are really 10 things, and those 10 things are really 18 things. It's a whole goddamn thing. So, listen. And if you don't feel like you can speak, then don't speak just yet. Speak when you know it's going to flow from your heart. Speak when you know it's just going to come out the way it needs to come out. I was also walking with a friend yesterday, and she opened up to me, and it was such a nice time. And with this particular friend that I have, we have more of that goofy nature. Like, we tend to act more like ourselves as children. And we do some of the most craziest, stupidest things. They're not stupid, but the world will look at it as you guys are stupid. But it's okay to let that inner child out and have people where you could be a child around, be a kid, be stupid, be just silly, just act weird, and that's our friend. That's our friendship. We make weird faces. We be like, hi, my friend, how are you? And we just do like just weird things. Like, it's like that the outsider would look in and be like, yo, y'all got problems. No, we don't have problems. We're living in our truth. You should try it. You should try living in your truth and not pretending to be someone that you're not for the people around you. Be who you are, and you will attract the people that you're more like, right? So we got to a new level in our friendship where, although I love the goofy and the silliness that we kind of exhibit in the moments where we're together, it's also important to have those deep conversations, to have those healing conversations, to have those conversations that give new perspectives, different perspectives. It's important to have those as well. And our friendship has never really been, the foundation of our friendship has been the silly side. And though it is good, at the same time, it's also can keep you in a place where you're not growing in your friendship and we're just remaining in one place. And that's not what I wanted. And for years, I actually felt like I would love to go deep with this person. And it sadly stopped me from maybe reaching out as much as I wanted to. Or even the moment I was going through a problem where it was like, okay, I can't call that friend up because all we do is act stupid together. All we do is act silly. I don't want to be silly right now. I'm not always silly. I'm serious a lot of the times. I'm focused. I'm thinking deep. I have intense thoughts, intense emotions. So it was nice to have that. And then we both opened up in that same moment and said, I'm happy like that we can go deep because I never really thought that I could do that with you. And she said the same exact thing. She's like, I never thought I could do that with you either. But look how when we take time to listen to each other and genuinely put that concern forth, and we care enough to know more, then so much more is unveiled to us, so much more, and even more than that, we were present in the moment, so we didn't miss anything, So, I had that experience yesterday, and if anybody else relates to that, that same experience that I had where you have a friend who you feel like you can't do certain things with, or you can't touch on certain things because of the dynamic of how your friendship has been, test it, see what happens, see what the outcome is, because you can get a beautiful outcome. And you guys can break through another barrier of the friendship, and it makes it that much more meaningful, that much more close to your heart, because you're like, I can go there with this person, but you don't know until you try. So, just food for thought. At this point, I have talked way too much, and I'm going to... Oh, I also wanted to touch on real quick. But this friend, she got deep, and I'm on this, so there's this person, Sean Gurley, a phenomenal person, and I'm happy that I met this person. He had formed this Zoom
video chat, where a bunch of like-minded people can get together and share experiences and relate to one another, encourage one another. And in this Zoom, we do exercises to help uncover certain things and to move past certain things. And we all go around the room and we share and we talk. And for me, it's not that I felt uncomfortable to share. It was more so that this is going to lead into what I'm going to say. It was more so that when I speak, it needs to flow, like almost like I was doing right now, where this is coming out so natural for me. It doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel like I'm trying to be smart. It doesn't feel like I'm trying to match the room. It doesn't feel like I'm trying to match the energy. It doesn't feel like that at all. It just feels like I'm flowing and I'm speaking truth. I'm speaking my truth. And I get in certain situations, and I use that as an example, where it just doesn't feel right. And in that moment, I told myself, if it doesn't feel right to speak, and you don't think you're going to flow, or you think you're going to be more in the mindset of everybody else is trying to give all these educated responses, or these responses, not even educated responses, but they're speaking in such a way, and now you feel like you have to top it, you feel like you have to match it. No. Maybe that's just a moment for you to listen and gather information and be humble and silent. Maybe this is a moment of listening and not a moment of speaking. So when I was in the Zoom, I wasn't speaking a lot because it was information I needed to take in. And it could have been information that I already know is within myself. But I needed to be reminded of certain things. So when I was hanging with my friend yesterday, it was that same situation where I wanted to give her the advice, and I knew that I had the answers in my heart. And I just wasn't flowing the way I wanted it to. I felt blocked. I felt like, okay, you're not helping her. You're not even giving her a little bit.